Very good morning and welcome to all the viewers. In today's session, we have Pragnya with us, who has successfully started his career as a data analyst on the data science roles from being a mechanical engineer. So this is a success story webinar. We would like to learn his journey, experience, what did he learn, what did he study, how did he apply for this job, how did he select a specific role, and maybe have questions which is related, maybe clarification from your side if you are from similar background. So that's going to be the goal of it. I start with congratulating Pragnya. Pragnya, I'm glad that you made your first switch into data science role. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
We will start with open question. Just tell me about yourself and why did you got interested in data science? So we can start with that.
Yeah, sure. Good morning, everyone. I'm Pragnya Narasimha. I'm from Mysore. I completed my graduation as a mechanical engineer in Vidyavardhaka College of Engineering, Mysore. And like most of the engineers, rather I would say mechanical engineers, I was confused what to do next. I had some experience in digital marketing before, so I joined as an intern in a company called OA Loans. So I worked there as a digital marketeer for about 6 months, and later joined one more company as a digital marketing executive. There I worked for about 6 months as well. That's when I got to know about DataMites. And when I was doing my internship, I used to, like, whenever I'm free, I used to go sit with data science team, development team. And I sort of felt an inclination towards the data science and the crazy things they were doing in the company. And I felt like even I should learn it. So that's how I got into data science, by joining DataMites. And currently, I'm working as a data analyst in a US-based company, which is into digital ad verification.
Okay, great. So you got curious. Essentially, so you're not from IT background, right? So did anyone advise you that it is not required? Or do you know programming before taking this step towards it?
No, not at all. Actually, I had no prior experience in programming. We just had that C in first year in the engineering, but I had no programming knowledge at all before joining. When I came to the DataMites office, I spoke to the counselor and I told them I have no experience. But they were like, you don't have to have any experience as such. And that's how I got into it.
Okay, great. Pragnya, tell me about your learning methodology. So, yeah, of course, DataMites syllabus and other things, I will be glad if you specify, as well as what's your approach? How many hours you studied? What are the things you studied? Extra materials and books, or maybe YouTube channels you referred? That will be great.
Sure. So initially, the basics of Python, I got to know in DataMites itself. So, and also you encouraged to study other materials as well. So while coming to the class, I had joined October 2019 batch, which was on weekends. And like the coursework and the syllabus is very elaborate, both the programming as well as the mathematical part of it. At DataMites, which helped me a lot to understand the crux of machine learning initially. And also, like, I used to refer other materials on Coursera and a few channels on YouTube, like Programming with Tim, Free Code Camp, and also Krishna Nayak, and a few more on YouTube. And I did a IBM course as well on Coursera. So these are the materials I referred to initially when I started.
Okay, great. Any specific topics, any specific material you referred for statistics? How was your statistics learning?
Yes, sir. Statistics was completely through DataMites itself. The structured learning I got in DataMites was very helpful. like from basics of Python to intermediate Python and statistics, to the EDA process, and also which takes to the modeling and machine learning part later on. The structured coaching there helped me, and statistics, I didn't refer any other material. It's mostly the DataMites course and a few videos on YouTube.
How long you took to get a hang of both Python and statistics? As per the syllabus, it is a month or nearly a month, right? How long you, along with your practice, took to get a hang of this Python and statistics?
Yeah, almost same, like around 1.5 months to get to know the syntax and also the basics of Python as well as statistics. Around 1 to 2 months was enough for me.
That's great. How many hours you put in per day?
So basically what happened was I was working as a digital marketeer, and due to lockdown, I had to come back to Mysore. And during lockdown, I thought of putting my full time into data science itself. So I left my job and I was studying for about 6-7 hours. Studying in the sense, I used to take hands-on projects and work on it, which actually helped me a lot to understand what's happening and how to deal with problems if you are stuck in the middle, how to cope up with it and stuff. So I used to read about 5-6 hours a day.
Okay, that's above what actually we recommend. We recommend, we basically recommend minimum of 4 hours, but I think as from the other successful participants as well, whoever spend about 5 to 6 hours a day and next for at least 3 to 4 months are the one who actually cross the minimum bar of having that standard knowledge, which is required for the, to add value to any business. Thank you. And how about machine learning? When you start machine learning, how did you feel? Is it overwhelming? Is it completely new? What was your experience of starting with machine learning topics?
Yes, sir. Machine learning topics, like initially when Python started, that was quite overwhelming for me. But by the time machine learning and modeling part came, it was very easy. And also the programming part of machine learning is usually not very difficult. You just train and test the data and just a fit statement there. But the mathematical understanding behind it, which you used to teach us in the classes, were really helpful. Like what exactly, if you're using a random forest or logistic regression, what exactly is happening behind the scenes, like the mathematical part of it and the distribution and stuff. It actually helped me a lot for my understanding. But it was not really overwhelming after a while. Like I used to practice every day for about 2 hours at least. So it was not overwhelming when the machine learning part came. And also your teaching helped me a lot, honestly.
I'm glad. Thank you. So did you go deeper into the mathematics of each and every machine learning algorithm? How was it?
No, not very deep as such, but I used to understand what exactly is happening, and also I love math, so I used to play around with the parameters and see what happens. But I don't say you need to have a very deep understanding as such, but it's good to have understanding of what's happening and the mathematics part of it.
Okay, I also agree with you. Maybe few algorithms, right? Linear regression, maybe random forest. How is that Gini created? How is that split happens, right? From a support vector machine and those kind of things, you need to know what is conceptually happening. If you don't understand the mathematical modeling of support vector machine, that's fine. No one is gonna, really put a gun on your head to explain that. But on the other side, there are certain things like naive Bayes algorithms, random forest, linear regression, and neural networks. These people expect you to know the equation of mathematics and explain you a bit. Apart from that, complex algorithms, we can simply explain it conceptually with a high level diagram. That is good enough. So that's I agree with you. So when you complete this machine learning topics, Then you move on to deployment and projects. Could you explain the experience of what kind of projects you chose? How did you learn that?
So basically, after the coaching, like I joined Rubek's internship for about 4 months, and initially we were given 15 projects to choose with, and we chose one from banking industry, one from healthcare, and one I think NBA problem, a sports industry problem, and there we were a team of 3 to 4 people. We were working on it, so it actually helped me to get the hands-on experience, and also it helped me to collaboratively work with the peers, which usually happens in companies as well, where you work collaboratively on a project. So the projects were really exciting, as well as there was a lot of learning, I would say, in the projects which we did. And also the discussion sessions which we used to have on every Fridays, where we used to update our progress and also ask any doubts. It was really helpful. So that's how it went on regarding the projects.
Okay, what is the live project did you choose? You have live project, right? Either in already done project or a startup idea. What did you choose? Which project you take?
We actually did the 3 projects itself. We didn't go for the live project, sir.
Okay. Could you explain you have opted for IBAC certification, right? How was the
Yes.
examination? How was assessment? Was it difficult? Could you explain
So
IBAC?
yes, sir. We had two exams. One was basics of statistics and Python, I think, and also machine learning models. I mean, it was long back. I might have forgotten. And the other one was where you choose a project and work on it. You'll be given around 15 to 20 days, where you have to work on the project and submit your report as well as the code, maybe Jupyter Notebook or the code which I worked on, to the IBAC. And the certification was really helpful for me in the for the companies as well where I went to. It gave me a stand for my resume.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so how was your application strategy? Which channels you chose to apply for?
Yes, sir. So I mostly applied on LinkedIn and also Indeed, and I used to search on Google. So I had applied for around 4 or 5 jobs and got into 3 actually.
So you got 3 offers.
Yes.
Okay, that I don't know. Should be triple congratulating you. Why did you choose this one? Any specific reason? Apart from
Yes,
maybe
sir.
paying higher salary. I guess this is better salary, but any other reason you chose this?
The reasons were I was into digital marketing as well. The company is also into digital ad verification and around digital marketing, which was my area of interest. And also, this was the other 2 were startups. Although I also like to work. I worked at a startup, and working at startup gives a lot of learning experiences. This was a sort of established company, and I just wanted to learn how organizations and MNC work. So I just went on with this offer, and of course the salary part as well.
So it's a data-driven decision, isn't it? From your experience, and then you want to learn about how a big company works. But I would always suggest maybe after a couple of years of working here, you should look for a startup for at least working for a year and 2, because the experience and exposure you get in startup, which I'm a basically startup evangelist, so I encourage people. But your choice is perfect. I think a good choice. So apart from LinkedIn, any other channels? Anyone helped you to? How did you get this mentoring for getting a job?
Uh,
Resumes, yeah. Yeah.
So basically, like I used to every day for half an hour or so. After like about 8 months, I started applying for jobs every day. I used to go to LinkedIn, Google, Indeed.com, and I used to mail my resume. Probably change a little bit, looking at the job description. If there is something which I can add or remove from my resume, I used to do that. I used to tinker it a bit and send it to the HRs. And uh, after 8 months, honestly, like after working on a couple of projects, around 5 to 6 projects, I used to get a good response wherever I apply. Like I used to clear the first screening round would always be I used to always clear the screening round, and the interview process used to take place. So I just used to apply on LinkedIn, Google, and Indeed.com.
Okay, I think that covers all. And LinkedIn is actually works better than other channels, isn't it? That's from my
Yeah,
experience from other candidates. Okay,
yeah, yes, sir. Even I had a lot of response from LinkedIn, so I would say that.
right. Did you see any repeated questions? The questions most often asked in interviews, specifically related to data science related topics. Any questions you would like to share?
So yeah, in most of the interviews I attended, because I'm a fresher. So most of the interviews were it was more like a discussion, and also it was mostly on the basics of Python and basics of SQL, and the projects which I've done. I would say that it's really important to know completely the projects which you have added to your resume, and make sure you have actually done it, because most of the questions are about the projects you have done, which I've shared on your resume. So that's it. And it was just basics of Python, like what is dictionary, what is list, difference between list and tuple, and also basic queries on SQL, or how to fetch this data and stuff. It was very basic, honestly.
Oh, okay. So you are not being challenged with any machine learning algorithms, the nature of working or mathematics behind it?
I was actually like, since I had a project on a linear regression, I was asked in the current job, like I was asked about the error, like the loss function of the linear regression. I had done a classification job, so he just asked me, what would you do if you want, if there was a continuous data, and how will you handle it? So, and also the loss errors of the linear regression. And also I was asked a few questions on NLP, because that was my area of interest, and I had worked on few projects on NLP, about stemming, when do you use an LTK module, what is lemmatization, and so on.
So essentially, a basic terminologies and concepts what they asked, isn't it? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So that completes your journey. So I'll take questions from viewers if any questions. Yeah, because now you have moved from mechanical to data science. I mean, I see many people are actually moving from mechanical to data science. It's actually becoming a majority area. I think you guys are hardworking. You think you have a disadvantage of having mechanical? I don't know. Some people actually think who approach me saying, "Sir, mechanical, it's difficult to get an IT job." But maybe that's a motivation driving you guys to become a major. I see out of 10 people who are going to data science, more than 5 are actually from mechanical. I think that's coming from the drive that you need to put an extra effort, which is actually adding up to your success, isn't it? That's I'm very
Yeah,
glad that's happening.
I completely agree. Like initially, like while learning as well, since it's not the subject you studied in your bachelor's, you'll be more you put extra efforts, as you said, and it might have helped me as well.
Right. So that's to make a point. Again, data science is not just IT. It could be any domain. You might be a chemistry guy, a biotechnology, or mechanical, or whatever. Right. Data science is an horizontal skill which uses machine learning as a major tool. Once you learn it, of course, we have all sorts of big companies in all sorts of industries. You go to the corresponding one. As Pragnya chose to go into digital marketing because he's been working in digital marketing, someone who is already working in mechanical designs and stuff like that, they can find the corresponding job roles in a same industry which is related to machine learning and data science. So I'll wait for some more time for questions. Yeah, Pragnya.
Just to add to that point, also like in the current company where I'm working, there are 3 other colleagues who are working with me, and none of them are from computer science background. Like one more guy is from mechanical, the other 2 are from commerce background. So it's not that only data science or machine learning is only for people from computer science industry.
Okay. All right. So I'll wait for questions from any participants. Do you want to ask? It's one of a unique opportunity to talk to people who have actually made it, learning from scratch. People like me, you find many mentors in the market, right? We already crossed the bar 20 years ago. What we say is of course, we get from a lot of market perspectives and knowledge we gather, but someone who actually studied and got into a job, their experience is much more valuable and relevant to you because they just went through the path which you are aspiring to take, right? So if you have any questions which you would like to ask Pragnya relevant to this topic, please go ahead. The DataMites team, if you have any comments from YouTube, you can copy paste here. Otherwise, yeah. If someone wants to ask over a phone, over the mic, you can also raise your hands. That should be fine. I will, basically I'll allow you to speak. I have one question from Vinay. Says, how do we approach a problem statement and identify the suitable algorithm to effectively solve the problem? It's more like you're asking interview question to Pragnya. Okay, so how do you approach a problem statement and identify a suitable algorithm to effectively solve the problem?
Okay, so basically, like initially, okay, I would like to share my experience. Not sure if it's 100% correct, but like when I look into a problem initially, like I used to, the first step I used to do is whether it's a classification or regression problem. That's what I used to look, and also the EDA part, probably looking detailedly if the data is actually correct, is there any tweaks which we can do and stuff. And later on for the modeling part, I would say I just used to play around with it. Like I used to take cricket data set. I used to take a lot of data sets from Kaggle, UCI repositories, and just play around, just like use all the machine learning algorithms, a few, and see like what's the accuracy there, and all the metrics over there. So that's how I used to deal with it initially. I hope I have answered at least a little bit of what
Yeah, Pragnya, you did good. So well, this is a standard question. Simply, it's based on the data and the size of the data and the kind of the data you have, especially the features you have. Right? If you have too many features, you have different algorithm. I'm not going to details, but at the high level, what Pragnya said is correct, right? So it's really you look at the high level first, whether it's a classification or regression or clustering or something else, and then you look into the data and decide which algorithm. Typically, no one can tell you that this algorithm works better. I mean, we can come up with something. If you have too many features, neural network might work better. If you have simple data, even a simple random forest kind of algorithms can work better. But that's all like it's a hunch, right? There is no, there are certain mathematical statistical ways you can approach it. But most of the time, most of the machine learning engineers try all the feasible algorithms and see which is doing better. Because no one can come up with saying, right? So it's usually trial and error is what I say. And that's what we do in production, even with our client projects. We actually try multiple algorithms. We even build separate pipelines for multiple algorithms. And we have something at the end to pick up the best algorithm for a certain case. Okay, so someone asks you a question like this, you can simply say, hey, it really depends on the data. And then you say that we usually try multiple algorithms. And then you can say, we work. That's a very high level. And then you can also say, if it is text, we go for naive Bayes. If it's too many features, we go for neural network. Show them that you know that you know what is what, right? Not cutting the answer very short algorithms. If you have less number of records, we usually go for support vector machine. Few points here and there. Sorry, I think my internet is not stable. Hello?
It's audible, sir.
Am I audible, Pragnya?
Yeah, you were breaking a bit. Now your voice is clear. Again, you're breaking.
In between, right?
I think your voice is breaking.
Okay. Am I breaking? Is it still breaking now?
Now it's clear.
Pragnya? It's
No,
clear?
I'm
There
not
are some
able to.
questions, Pragnya, you can take it.
Okay.
Ansel has
Yeah,
a question. Ansel has a question. Can you elaborate the SQL skills that we need to have for interviews?
Oh yeah. So basically, this is a good question actually. So initially, I used to mostly work on Python and not really look into SQL as such. But especially for a day, for like out of my experience, if you're getting in as a data analyst, it's really useful to have good SQL skills. The SQL skills would be probably the DDL and DML skills, like just creating, dropping, altering the table, or insert and update statements. And just the basics of it is okay, but it's really essential to have SQL skills, because on day-to-day basis, data analysts do use SQL a lot. So
Okay, so Ansel, hope that answered your question. If not, you can ask a follow-up question. There's another question coming from Rohit Nagarahalli. The question is, as a data science aspirant, how important is it to learn visualization tools like Tableau, Power BI, along with the SQL and Python?
okay, I would say it would be an added advantage if you learn the visualization tools as well. I still remember we had a class on on Tableau on the last day, and that's where I got introduced to the visualization tools, and I also started playing around with it. So it's a good skill to have if you have probably, like, I had applied for one or two business analytics role where they actually needed visualization tools, which was so it's good that if you can learn the visualization tools along with SQL and Python.
Okay, so that's clear. It doesn't really require for your machine learning work, but if you learn it, you're not blank. And also, it's really helpful sometimes when you want to just analyze some data. Tableau is a super easy to, even Power BI for that sake, but Tableau can really help you to dissect the data to get some insights, even without doing any of the Python or machine learning. Tableau itself can help you to get a lot of insights from the data, though it is descriptive analytics. We can't do much of prediction in Tableau except the time series forecasting, but Tableau is a very essential tool. So yeah, Rohit, that's your answer. I have another question from Baron Thomas. It's a question to you. How many hours a day you have to work? I mean, maybe I can also answer, but you can answer. How many works a
Okay.
day? Like any other people, isn't it? Go ahead.
So I would say, like, if honestly, like, I have also seen my friends from DataMites, as well as my friends who are from mechanical engineering, who got into the similar roles. And I would say, around, if you consistently put like 2 hours a day, like with every day, that would be more than sufficient for about 6 months or so. That would be more than sufficient to understand the crux of machine learning, and that would be useful, I guess. The what I really felt was, initially when I was learning, Like if I learn some concepts of programming and take 1 week break and again start working on it, I used to forget a lot of things. But when I was doing it on a consistent basis, it actually helped me a lot. So I would say doing it consistently is more important. Like on day-to-day basis would be really helpful to initially when you start.
Right. So I think the question is slightly towards the work. So I think Thomas wants more work,
Okay.
work-life balance. So he's asking, yeah, how how stressful is your data science job? Is what he's trying to ask, if I'm not wrong.
Uh, okay. So not really. Like I am completely enjoying the job right now. Like it's a product based company, so we get a lot of instant tickets. So, and also there are a few creative aspects as well to my job, like looking into YouTube, Twitter, social media and stuff. So I'm totally like, maybe I'm as a fresher, I'm enjoying it 100%, I would
Okay.
say, and not really stressful.
Okay, so I can add on to that because I actually employ a lot of data scientists and ML engineers as my team, as well as work on many client projects. Before that, basically, I've been in this entrepreneurship for more than 12 years. So we were an IT solutions company, right? And in 2016, we kind of bumped into data science by doing an analytics project for one of our clients. Then we actually found that this is much more lucrative, much more interesting, and people don't complain about extra work. It's like when you have an IT guy and I want to call him and say, hey, you know what, there was a bug reported, you need to fix it. You really don't get a very positive response. He anyway do it because he has to, basically do the job. But for a data scientist kind of people, when I have a problem, my colleagues actually jump into it. They'll be curious to know it and do it. It doesn't matter which time you are. So to put it in that perspective, it's a very interesting job, right? No one really worry about how many hours you're working, but it typically is the same hours as any other normal jobs, 8 hours, 7 hours, whatever it is. If you're smart, you can actually do it earlier, and if you want to enjoy your life, you can. But I'm pretty damn sure you actually spend more time than the company even requires because you'll start loving it, right? And we start loving it. In fact, from 2021, we stopped all the data related projects. So we do a data lake, a data pipeline, this kind of setting up the platform and that kind of works. We have taken many projects before. From 2021, last year, we decided to only take MLAI projects, nothing else. Um, that's because not only because it's more profitable, it's also very joyful to deliver these projects, and it doesn't have much of stress, Thomas, relatively. And I can tell you one more thing, because clients really don't have much of idea about what's going to be. I mean, of course, they do have the metrics and other things, but it's like they're already happy with what we deliver. It's like because it's in the nascent stage of the cycle of data science, 4 or 5 years. It is still the beginning levels, right? Whatever we deliver will be absolutely amazing when compared to the traditional jobs they're doing. So they're already happy. So it won't be very demanding from the client as compared to other mature platforms. If you're developing an application or mobile application or whatever it is, you have a lot of expectation from client. When it comes to data science, because we always outperform the traditional methods, clients are already happy with average delivery. So that actually makes it less stressful. Okay. Any more questions? We already crossed 30 minutes. It's 7 minutes over. I think that's all. If any questions further, you can always drop a mail to Pragnya, LinkedIn. Can I share your LinkedIn, Pragnya?
Sure, sure.
So they can drop an email, of course. So
That would be
that's
great.
Pragnya email, sorry, LinkedIn profile. So you can drop a message. And if you want to contact me, you can also use this email. And if you want to contact DataMites, you can just you can go to datamites.com. DataMites team, I think we are done. If you have anything to say or any questions from other channels, I'll wait for a minute more.
Thank you, Pragnya, for sharing your experience. We wish you all the best for your future on behalf of DataMites team. I thank Ashok Veda sir for your time, and I thank all the participants for joining this webinar.
Okay, thank you everyone. Wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Pragnya.
Thank you. Thanks for giving me this opportunity to share my experience as well. And I would like to thank all of you, like Ashok Veda sir, Sagar sir, Deepak sir, and Sagarika ma'am, who helped me along the way and during my learning days at DataMites. Thanks a lot.